Hello guys, in this video let's do a quick analysis on May 2025 visa bulletin final action date chart and data filing chart that was released today. I'm going to compare the final action date chart for employment based category with the prediction that I made previously. On the left hand side you can see the spreadsheet file that I had prepared for predicting the May 2025 visa bulletin and that I shared in the previous video. Similarly, like on the right side, you can see the released visa bulletin today. So if I start with the rest of the world employment based category, EB1 rest of the world, I predicted it would stay current, and also the same thing on the released visa bulletin. EB2 rest of the world and EB3 skilled rest of the world, EB3 other workers rest of the world. I predicted two scenarios for these three employment based categories under rest of the world. One scenario was if it moves, it would move a month forward approximately. And if the second scenario that I predicted, which I highlighted in the yellow color code, and I explained that during my video, previous video as well, in my prediction video, is the highlighted yellow means it will not move. It will stay same as the previous visa bulletin, which is April 2025 visa bulletin. So the second scenario is what happened in the released visa bulletin for final action date chart under May 2025. So it stays exactly the same as April visa bulletin. It did not move a day forward, basically, for the rest of the world. And what does that mean is that I think up until June, even for the next month, you would see the date movements will not happen, in my opinion. But you would see that forward movement in July visa bulletin, because at the start of the next quarter, USCIS will try to meet the date established in the data filing chart. So the final action date chart will be moved maybe in July visa bulletin. So I would not expect much movement in June visa bulletin as well. So this is matching with the prediction I made as a second scenario for the rest of the world category. Moving to the China employment based categories. So under China, I predicted 2 weeks for EB1 movement. In this case, it did not move in the released visa bulletin. So seems like China is also facing maybe the porting of visas from other EB categories to EB1, or maybe even a lot of applications may be coming in at this time. With that being said, maybe that backlog is increasing in this case, due to which we are not seeing forward movements so far in the EB1 China category, and this category has been remaining stable without any movement for a couple of visa bulletins already. So maybe I'm foreseeing that maybe in the July visa bulletin it might move a little forward, maybe a month forward in July visa bulletin for the Q4 of fiscal year 2025 is what I'm anticipating. But until that time, at least it will stay constant. I thought, like in my prediction, I thought they would start to move, because it was not moving at all. So I thought they would start to move the EB1 China a little bit, but seems like they are seeing much more new applications being ported for EB1 China, and that's the reason maybe it's on hold for the moment. And EB2 China and EB3 China, it is a similar case as of rest of the world. So what I could see here is that I did predict a 1 month forward movement, but I did not apply the second scenario case. I only applied the best case scenario here. But seems like the other scenario is very similar to the rest of the world. You will see maybe this month forward movement in July visa bulletin, and not before that. The visa bulletin you might see um, the same for June visa bulletin as well. So very little movement or no movement will be the case for June visa bulletin as well, and maybe in July there will be a movement for both EB2 China and EB3 China. And for EB3 other workers China, I said it will stay the same in my prediction, and it is the case as well. It stays the same. Moving to India, EB category. So in my prediction for EB1 India, I did predict 2 weeks forward movement, thinking that there will be a slow incremental movement to reach the data filing chart date in the final action date chart by end of this fiscal year. So instead of doing incremental movements, seems like there will be a jump in July visa bulletin to meet the data filing chart so that they can process those cases in the fourth quarter of this fiscal year if they don't see a huge number of applications in the backlog by that time. So either you would see a movement in June visa bulletin, or you may not see any movement in June visa bulletin. So next month is going to be a very stable situation for most of the EB categories as well, as you are seeing in the May 2025 visa bulletin. So until July, we might not see any major movements here. For EB2 India, it stayed the same. I did predict 1 week movement in a best case scenario, but it did not move. So it could be the same case. And I did say in the comment section in the previous videos that EB2 in 2013 has close to 13K backlog visas numbers, and you would not see bigger jumps, much of bigger jumps in the EB2 India category in the coming visa bulletins. By up to September 2025 max, it might move a month forward up to that time, but you might see that reflection in July visa bulletin if that happens. But otherwise, it will be a slow movement up to September 2025 for EB2 India. For EB3 India and EB3 other workers India, I predicted 2 weeks forward movement, and it did move 2 weeks forward movement from 1st of April 2013, which is the April visa bulletin, to 15th of April 2013. So there was a 2 weeks forward movement, and you would anticipate that moving forward like that at least even in June visa bulletin, because it has to move, EB3 has to move up to June 2013 to meet the data filing chart. So I think there will be a little increments up to June, and then July there might be a month forward movement you would see suddenly. So that's what I'm anticipating. A big jump in July visa bulletin, but maybe a week or two up to that. Okay. Moving to Mexico and Philippines, as I mentioned, it is very similar, going to be similar in the movement related to these two countries, Mexico and Philippines. It will be following the rest of the world until September 2025. So I did say the same two scenarios for these countries as well in my previous prediction video. One scenario would be like it would follow what the rest of the world movement would be, or it would stay the same, as it is going to stay the same in the rest of the world as well. So those two scenarios I mentioned in my prediction by these color codes, and it happened the same way. So it matched the prediction. So most of my predictions, I would say 90% of my predictions are matched, except in the China EB categories, and one of the EB1 India and EB2 India plus the China categories was not following a little bit. It was a slow movement, and the scenarios applied that they are seeing more applicants, enough visas in the current quarter to fulfill, and maybe we will see some movement in July visa bulletin, not before that. So that's what I did as an analysis here, but the predictions matched, most of them matched, and the thought process was aligned with respect to my predictions. So I will continue to analyze the data for future visa bulletins, but I can clearly say up to July, you may not see much movement on these tables here. Okay. Um, so moving to data filing chart to see if there is any good sign. So if I compare, the April 2025 data filing chart and May 2025 data filing chart, I don't see much difference here. It is almost the same as before. So if I just take a look here, yeah, so you don't see much change in this. So it seems like it's going to follow those dates up to September 2025 in an ideal case scenario. And we will know more, like if there is any indication of data filing chart movement, we will know in July visa bulletin. But up to June visa bulletin, at least I would predict that it will stay the same. It will not move as well in the data filing chart. Okay, so that's my analysis, and at least I'm glad that predictions, most of them are matching, and that tells me that the thought process behind it is a good to have for future predictions as well. Let me know if you have any questions in the comment section, and kindly share my content to your network, and appreciate your time. Thank you.